Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming for our second lunchtime chit-chat session about mental health with our community partners, serving residents of Bukit Batok constituency. I'm Albert from Bukit Batok Green Ribbon Task Force, and I'll be the moderator for today. The Green Ribbon Task Force hopes to raise awareness about mental health and the importance of mental wellness, especially during this difficult period of time for Bukit Batok constituency residents. As residents of Bukit Batok constituency will know, you would have received a mental health postcard in January that provides information of 10 community partners that looked out for the mental health of our residents. We had our first webinar session at Singapore Tongchai Medical Institution, Bukit Batok branch, last month. And today, we'll be having our second session at Tzu Chi, Singapore, Seniors Engagement and Enabling Notes, which is located at Block 230A, Bukit Batok Street 21, also known as Golden Daisy. Okay, so let me introduce our two panelists who will be speaking with us today. So representing the Green Ribbon Task Force, on your left, we have Dr. Linus Chua, who has been supporting the mental health of residents in his official capacity for many years. Dr. Chua?
Thank you for having me today, Albert.
Thank you, Dr. Chua. So next, representing Tzu Chi Singapore, SEEN, is the Program Executive of the Bukit Batok branch, Ms. Yo Po Ai. Po Ai?
Thank you for inviting us to be the speaker for today.
In fact, thank you for having us here on your premise too. Yeah, and that today there was supposed to have been a third panelist seated right here, Irene. Irene is a senior volunteer at Tzu Chi Singapore who started out being a client, but now is a volunteer trainer with them. And the reason why Irene is not here and I'm sitting on her behalf is because we were doing some form of check earlier, and unfortunately, she is not able to join us because of she did ART and found out that she may be C+. So in order to ensure the safety of everyone present, we have she actually gone back home, but she sent her regards to all the seniors who will be listening in. I will also be sharing with all of you what are the things that she has highlighted and that she would like to put across the message to everyone. So thank you everyone for your patience later when I'm going to be playing two roles of being the person who asked and also being the one who shared the information. All right, so maybe I will start the session by asking Po Ai a question about mental health. So Po Ai, can you share with us what does mental health means to you as an individual as well as a staff of Tzu Chi?
Okay, so mental health to me as an individual as well as a staff of Tzu Chi is about having seniors and everyone having a healthy state of mind and wellness and being happy as well as a positive outlook towards life.
Positive outlooks towards life. Okay.
Yeah.
And so this is something that, is it something that you feel that as an individual, you have also been influenced because of your role at Tzu Chi, because of you working at Tzu Chi?
Yes, of course. Working at Tzu Chi teaches me on how to be positive and helping others that contributes to others' happiness as well.
Interestingly, when I visited Tzu Chi here, I've seen a lot of very meaningful information, especially about core values of Tzu Chi Foundation. And of course, we have a poster here that maybe I can get Po Ai to share a little bit more.
Okay, yes. Tzu Chi actually values the practices of compassion, joy, and giving, which directs people towards the mind of purity and goodness. So among the other missions that Tzu Chi focuses their efforts on, I would like to highlight two important values that I feel may bring about mental wellness. Okay, first of all, Tzu Chi promotes and instills humanistic values as shown here over in the poster. Yeah, so we hope to lead people towards the path of goodness. And one of the unique features of Tzu Chi is actually community volunteerism, where volunteers can use their time and do meaningful work for the community. Secondly, Tzu Chi actually advocates for plant-based diet to promote, to protect life as well as the planet. So taking on the plant-based diet actually helps to promote physical and mental well-being, as eating well actually leads to living well.
eating well leads to living well.
Yep.
That's a very interesting point that you ended. Maybe I can actually take on this point to actually pose a question to Dr. Chua, actually. So Dr. Chua, what do you think about eating well in order to live well? Maybe just throw this question over to you.
Well, that's certainly an excellent. It's something that we certainly advocate. There's a lot of good that we can do to our bodies just by eating well, keeping active. And there's a lot of bad that we can do to our bodies by eating badly, right? A lot of the things that cause high cholesterol, high sugars, and all that, for example.
So maybe just go back to when you mentioned about the humanistic this element. So can you just share a little bit more? Is it about the portion about doing good in general to the society?
Doing good in general to the society, whereby like I mentioned that volunteers can come together to reach out to the neighborhoods residents to find out like how they are coping well and helping out each other in times of, especially during this COVID pandemic.
So maybe on this humanistic point of view of doing good for others, maybe Dr. Chua, from the medical point of view, what is the benefit of the feel-good factor of doing good for society and doing good for other people? Any opinion from you?
Well, that's an interesting question, Albert. It's not a usual medical question, but certainly something that I do recommend for a lot of my senior patients and post-retirees, because I think it's an excellent way to keep active, both mentally and physically. It's a way to keep your social connections, even as we volunteer together. And most importantly, I think it gives a very good sense of meaning and purpose to one's life, especially in the seniors years. Actually, it's very important.
Meaning for one's life. So for the seniors, from your experience of interacting with seniors, why is that important for seniors to feel a sense of meaning in their life?
That's another excellent question. And really, in the course of my work, I do find a lot of seniors who are increasingly isolated, who find that they have nothing much to, in that sense, in their own perspective, nothing to look forward to. And that's quite unfortunate, because then they don't find a reason to take care of themselves. They don't find a reason to motivate themselves to do their exercises, to take their medications. Volunteering itself and having that meaning and purpose gives us something to look forward to. And I think as human beings, is something that is very core to what we always have to have something that we look forward to in the future.
Looking forward to, I think that's a very important thing, bring meaning to life. So has that been over at Poi for your side? Have you seen seniors who comes to your center and that they found a certain form of meaning and purpose when they come to your center? Were there any stories that you can share with us?
Yes, definitely. So a lot of seniors do mention that sometimes at a later age in life, they have nothing much to do except for like taking care of grandchildren, just staying at home. But having here at Tzu Chi, they are able to come down as a place that they can hang out, make new friends, and have more social interactions with others, getting to be active, like what Dr. Linus mentioned, being physically active by joining our programs and activities.
Very good to segue into the next question I have, which is that, so can you share with us more about the various activities that is available at Tzu Chi SEN here at Bukit Batok?
So at Tzu Chi SEN, we have a variety of activities and programs for the senior that suit the different needs and interests and promote their healthy and active aging. So one of it is our exercise classes. We have happy exercise and workout to wellness, 312 exercise. So they can just choose whichever suits them and what they feel happy doing it. Okay, so we also have the gym tonic program, which aims at reversing frailty through strength training exercises. So these are actually senior-friendly gym equipment that helps them to build the core muscle groups for the seniors. Yeah, and we do partner with St. Luke's Hospital in the Jinjia Ho program, which identifies the frail and pre-frail seniors to take care of their physical and psychosocial needs. Yep. So for example, we do have community nurses from St. Luke's Hospital coming down to our center once a week to have an on-site consultation with the seniors to educate them and help them to answer some health-related queries and issues. Yep. Besides this, we also have health talks on a monthly basis by Ng Teng Fong General Hospital. This also provides the seniors with the knowledge and information on any health-related topics like their chronic medical conditions and even like hearing and eyesight care, eye care and all that. So besides all this, we have been talking about all the health-related programs, but we also do have art-based classes like Zentangle drawing and also upcycle craft, which Madam Irene does it over here and trains the other seniors to do so.
Great. Yeah, maybe before I start sharing about my chat with Madam Irene before this, you mentioned a term, a dialect term, 金驾后. For those non-Chinese who may not know this term, 金驾后, can you share what does that mean?
It means like extremely good. So I would translate it to very good wellness.
Or Dr. Chua, are you able to help to translate that for her?
It's very, very good or extremely good. Yeah.
So it's not just very good, it's very, very good. And that, so 金驾后, the idea of this initiative is to let seniors know that this is a very good thing. It's not just a very good, it's a very, very good initiative. You should go and be involved. And I'm so glad in Bukit Batok, we have a few community partners who work together, and you're not alone. You are working together with St. Luke Hospital. And also, I believe also the next month when we get this Fei Yue Active Aging Center, they also have some involvement in this initiative. So this is something that I hope Bukit Batok residents who are seniors, please go and understand more about the various initiatives available for you. So earlier, you also pointed out about Madam Irene was involved with some of the initiatives that we have. So I asked Irene a question a few days ago when I met her. So I asked her what attracted her to join Tzu Chi for their activities. Madam Irene wanted me to share this information with everyone, that she, when she first got to know about Tzu Chi, her friend brought her to this center. She was worried because she is quite a shy person. That's what she told me. And she's very worried that she's not able to understand the instructions well. She's not able to read the instructions well since she is more Chinese educated. But she found it very warming to be able to have the staffs at Tzu Chi to give her the comfort that she does not need to be able to read information. Information will be relayed to her in a manner that she can understand. I think that is a very important thing that attracted Madam Irene to come to Tzu Chi. Even for myself, when I come to Tzu Chi, the one word that Irene has talked about, she said that she felt 她收到了爱. She received love from this place. And I really do feel that the staffs here really give you the kind of warmth, and it's very, very genuine. If you have a chance, pop by to Golden Daisy and just pay a visit to know more about the facilities that's available here. And I also asked her the question, which of the activity is her favorite and why? Maybe for that, I can, because I also had a chance to chat with Po Ai then. Maybe Po Ai, what was it that Madam Irene shared about her favorite activity? Can you elaborate a bit more on it?
She mentioned that her favorite activity was the happy exercise, which pre-COVID she participated in.
Happy exercise here.
Yeah, because it actually helps her to train her mind, train her memory actually. Yeah, and she feels happy to be just participating in an activity, which is why it's called happy. Right.
Now, since we talk about happy exercise, are we able to just show to the audience just a simple activity? What is a happy exercise? Would you like to lead me in it?
Yeah, okay. So happy exercise is actually a dual task activity exercise. So seniors has to perform both the cognitive task as well as the physical task.
So they must use their brain and their body movement. It's not just following instruction, you must think also.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the exercise or game that we actually play is called scissors, paper, stone, which I am sure that all the seniors are also very familiar with because it's their childhood game.
I also know it too. I'm also a senior then.
So first we will have me guiding the seniors. I will just do scissors, paper, stone. Like for example, I'll put scissors. So seniors will have to win me. So in order to win me, definitely is
I must show a stone to win the scissors.
Okay, so let us try a few rounds.
Sure.
Okay, scissors, paper, stone.
So I must win you, I must use scissors.
Yeah.
So I pause first, I see what you do, then I show.
Yes, that's right.
All right.
Okay, scissors, paper, stone. Okay.
So like stone wins scissors.
Yeah. Okay, scissors, paper, stone.
Scissors win cloth. All right. So this is the level 1.
Yeah, level 1.
Level
only.
1.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we have level 2, which will be slightly more difficult because we are very familiar with winning the other party because naturally we want to win. So now we want the seniors to lose to us. So yeah, for example, I put scissors.
Now maybe why don't you do with Dr. Chua, since I think he has seen me doing it. Now maybe you can do it with Dr. Chua.
I want to get involved as well.
I can see he's very excited to be involved.
Okay, scissors, paper, stone.
So I have to lose, right?
Yeah.
So I give a stone.
No, you have to lose to me, but because this one I'll win you, right?
Yes.
So he has to lose, correct?
Lose. Oh yeah. You see, sometimes even us as trainers, we tend to forget.
I get confused, right?
It's also a form of like training for us also.
Yes.
So sometimes it brings laughter to the seniors also.
The seniors will be laughing. How can you make mistake? Right?
Yeah, correct.
So let's do again the correct process again.
Okay, scissors, paper, stone.
Okay, so I have to lose. Okay, so stone.
Yeah, scissors, paper, stone.
Okay, this is not so easy.
Yeah, scissors, paper, stone.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Correct.
It's a bit of a tangle in the mind.
Yeah, so tangle in the mind. So it probably takes the senior a few more steps to come up with the response for the one that you did compared to the one I did, right? Yeah. And by having the seniors to put in more effort to think of a solution, why would that be good for maybe the memory and the brain functions of seniors? Maybe Dr. Chua, do you have any opinion on this?
Well, I suppose it's more challenging. So it keeps us, it keeps the seniors on the toes. And one of the things in seniors that we recommend is to keep learning and keep training the mind. So I suppose this is an excellent game.
Learning and training the mind. I think that's very key words. Instead of just sitting in front of television and just watch your Korean drama series and just keep watching and binge watching, now you need to put in effort. But I know that putting effort is not easy for seniors. Well, there seniors who complain when they do this activity, like, so tiring.
Sometimes they will say that they cannot catch up, but we will have the other trainers by their side and guide them along, assuring them that it's okay. This is just a process and it's part of the training. After some time, you will definitely be able to do it.
Yeah, I think these are the kind of encouragements that's very important for seniors. Now that you mentioned this, it helps me to think of the interaction I had with Madam Irene just a couple of days ago. That was the first time I met Madam Irene when she was supposed to be one of our panelists. She was very worried. She kept telling us, Albert 我可以不要做吗？我没有信心，我怕我会忘记，我怕我忘记要做什么。But something very touching I saw from that's been said by Po I and also by Eve, one of her colleagues too. They keep telling her, 你行的 Irene, 你行的. So just by saying 你行的, giving her confidence and courage, why is that something that you feel may be good for her?
So because I think that most seniors lack confidence. Yeah. So by giving this confidence, they know that there's actually people believing in them. So it makes them to take the step out to actually just try it. So when they try it and they know, oh, actually I can just do a little, okay, that's not so bad. Okay, so it slowly builds up their confidence.
So building up their confidence because they're doing something different. They're doing something that makes them feel a bit uncomfortable. And that will generally give them a certain sense of wellness in certain ways. So maybe now is a good way for me to ask the question to Dr. Chua also. So maybe from a medical perspective, what do you think about these activities in general that's been shared that may be helpful for seniors in general? Any opinion from you?
Well, I think the results show for itself. They've done studies on this happy program, and it has shown that it has resulted in improved mood, improved memory, as well as improvement in frailty. And in the course that Tzu Chi has been running this happy program, in fact, over different centers over the western side of Singapore, it has shown good improvement to all of these, and hopefully it then translates into longer life and better quality of life for our seniors.
Longer life, better quality of life. Yeah, quality of life. This particular term has become more and more used from the social point of view. What do you think will make the quality of life for senior better in general? Maybe from your opinion, interacting with them, hearing what they have said to you before.
Improving their quality of life, I think it's more on being active and stepping out of their comfort zone, knowing that they actually can, keep their health in check, and also being able to, have a social life with others, making friends. Yeah.
Being able to make friends and have a more healthy social life, that's been said. I also like to go back to something that's been mentioned by Dr. Chua just now. You mentioned about frailty, but this term may not be a term that some people are familiar with. Can you share what does this frailty mean actually?
So frailty is one of those concepts that we talk about more in recent years, where we find that certain seniors have more resilience or have more capacity, have more reserve capacity compared to some others who may be thin, who may be not engaged, who may be prone to having more illnesses or more prone to having severe illnesses. So this is something that we see more. So the areas, so we look into a variety of areas in the screening. Some of these would be physical ability, some of it would be strength, some of it would be nutrition, and of course the underlying disease, underlying chronic diseases, as well as their memory and their mental functions. So it's kind of like more a holistic assessment of the elderly. So those who are more physically frail, we do recommend, especially to participate in these kind of physical, mental, nutritional interventions in order to get them into a better state so that they can face physical or mental challenges in the future.
So many different things to consider, even the health, the diet side of things. And it is because frailty, people may think of frailty as just a physical aspect, when there are many other things that can influence the physical side of a senior. And when it comes to, for example, volunteers for Tzu Chi, so because volunteerism is a way for seniors to improve their physical and mental health just by being able to do things for others. How does that work? Can you share with us a bit more about the volunteer work that needs to be done over at Tzu Chi?
So seniors may think that at that age, I can't do much. I lack the ability or capability to contribute, to help others. Yeah, I can only just like participate in what I want to do. But volunteering actually helps them to maintain good physical and also mental health. Okay, for physical aspects, I would feel that getting them to move about, engaging in the activities, actually helps them to feel good also physically, because they start to move about instead of like staying at home, sitting down, doing nothing. Okay, for the mental wellness aspect, it will be more of giving them a sense of purpose and creating meaning, which just now also Dr. Linus did mention. So because they feel that I can do volunteering work, compared to previously they will think that I can't do anything. Now this purpose in life, they will feel that, oh, okay, I want to contribute more, I want to help others, regardless of whether it's financially or just spending time with others. Yeah. When they see that making others happy and they are able to do good, naturally they will feel happy. And that comes to the point of how it builds their confidence as well.
And for a person who wants to do volunteering, does the person need to be physically quite relatively fit in order to do volunteering? Is it like a requirement?
It's not a requirement at all, because I feel that anybody, they can just contribute. They need not contribute a lot. They need not to be, they need not be doing a very tough like physical task. They can be just helping out with what they have already, the skills they have. Like for example, if they are good at cooking, they can just help out with cooking or sharing other like recipes to others on how to eat well. Yep.
Yeah, talking about cooking, when I chatted with Madam Irene, she told me that when she first volunteered here, she was doing cooking rice. She was cooking rice because there was a communal kitchen. There was a communal kitchen here at Tzu but that was pre-COVID, where she, I think it is a form of service that she do. When she do this cooking of rice for other seniors, she feels good for herself. And cooking rice for big number of people, you also take effort. It's also a physical activity that will be good to prevent seniors from maybe developing any physical ailment and strengthening some of their muscles too. She pointed out that after when COVID happened, of course, she's no longer able to volunteer to do the cooking of rice. Then she ended up picking up a skill. This particular skill involves something very interesting. Maybe, why can you lift up this and show it to the audience? Okay, so for the audience who may not be able to see this, this is actually some coffee 3-in-1 wrapper, and what is the other one? Tea.
Yeah, this is actually our Jingsi product, our herbal tea. Yeah.
The plastic wrapper.
Yeah, correct. Because this plastic wrapper, the inner layer is actually like aluminium foil. So these cannot be recycled, but they can be upcycled into pretty like very good looking craft works.
You use a term, cannot be recycled, but can be upcycled. What's the difference between recycling and upcycling?
So recycling, like on a day-to-day basis, we might have like come across like plastics, paper. This can be deposited into the blue color bins that we have. Yeah, we have the Tzu recycling day pre-COVID, where they will sort out all this to be sent to the recycling centers for I think like further processing. But for this they cannot. So upcycle, they will use all these materials to make into reusable items. Yeah.
So I think it's something, I'm learning something today. Now I learned that aluminium cannot be recycled, is it?
Yeah, correct.
This kind cannot be recycled. So audience, you can see, cannot be recycled, but it can be upcycled to do something useful. Yeah. And for Irene, she picked up a skill to learn how to use this aluminium foil to make into different items. Yeah. Would you, was this one of the things that she actually learned how to make?
Yeah, correct. Okay, so actually when they started out, they only made like simple baskets, just a rectangular basic basket. But slowly they find their
So
way.
see.
Yeah, they find their way to make into different shapes and sizes, like even a heart-shaped ones. Yeah. And then initially they also started with making handbags and also just like figurines like animal dogs. And then slowly they think of how to make
Giraffe.
yeah,
Beautiful.
correct.
I mean, all these are very nicely done. There must have been an instructor.
Yes.
So there was an instructor who taught these seniors how to make all these beautiful items, including this beautiful elephant that I know my mother will love because she loves elephant. Yeah, so there was an instructor.
Yeah, there was an instructor teaching the seniors how to make this. She was actually our also 慈济 volunteer, commissioned volunteer. Yeah, and after that she was unable to come down to teach due to her other commitments in our 慈济 volunteer activities. So because that time Madam Irene was actually learning from her, so she was able to pick up the basic of how to make all this craft work. So we thought that, okay, the other seniors were still very interested to learn, but there's no trainer. So we approached Madam Irene and asked her to come up to teach the students instead. Teach the other seniors. Yeah.
Did she readily accept this role?
No, she was like, no, I don't think I can do it. I can just do on my own, maybe just help out a bit, but I cannot be in front of so many students teaching them how to do it.
Then what made her change her mind to decide to take up this challenge of doing something different?
So we just told her that we saw her passion in making it and also that she has the skill and interest in doing it. So we gave her the encouragement that she can do it. She just have to try. So after thinking about it, she felt, okay, the staff gave me the confidence. They have the belief in me. So I'll just try. And then there she is. She is actually teaching seniors at our 慈济 scene at Bukit Batok, as well as our Nanyang branch.
So she actually straddled two different branches to teach. So what she told me on Thursday, which she reiterated just now when I met up with her, is that 慈济给她的爱，她真的要还回去。Whatever that has been given to her, she wants to be able to contribute back. So she has benefited as a client here. She wants to give back as a volunteer trainer to teach other seniors to engage their mind. I think engaging seniors during this difficult time of the COVID period is so important. After all, I mean, even for my parents, they really love to just watch television during this whole COVID period. I hope more seniors in Bukit Batok will be willing to pick up some new skills, try out new things, even if it's a bit more tiring compared to watching television. Come to a place like Tzu there are also other places in Bukit Batok that provide support, but Tzu will definitely be a place that you want to consider to learn new skills, to keep your brain active. So based on your interactions with the seniors at Tzu SEAN, which group of seniors do you think are more prone or susceptible to maybe develop some form of a mental health issues? Do you have an opinion on this?
Yes, so based on my interaction, I feel that those who have medical chronic conditions and those staying alone are more prone to develop certain mental health issues, because for those who are those who has medical chronic conditions, to cope with their physical symptoms of these illnesses, they will also experience perhaps stress or being overwhelmed with all these physical symptoms, and they may experience emotions such as sadness, or maybe even denial that why would I have the condition. Yeah. And then for those staying alone, they may be socially isolated or may have increased loneliness. So this may make them more prone to develop mental health issues.
Dr. Chua, anything to add on to what she has shared? from her observation?
Yeah, I certainly agree with Poi on this. It's those who are socially isolated, and especially those with certain maybe new diagnosis or multiple diagnoses, they tend to have more higher risk of going into depression, of going into anxiety over their condition, sleep problems, and down the road, of course, dementia and memory issues as well.
Yeah, and just let everyone know, after this session is over, we'll be posting a recording of this session from this coming Thursday onwards. And since Dr. Linus Chua also mentioned about depression and anxiety for seniors, there was a very wonderful video that was being produced by Tzu Ji, of which they invited a noted psychiatrist to speak about this topic. It's in Mandarin, but it has subtitles in English. We will post the link on when we actually include the video for all of you to watch, because I think it's a very meaningful. There's a talk spoken from the Tzu Ji's point of view about depression and mental health. So thank you for pointing out about that, Dr. Chua. So maybe out of the different activities that you have shared, which do you think is, you have pointed out happy exercise to be a very, very suitable one that can help to protect the mental health of seniors. Do you have any other things to share about any of the activities that Tzu Ji has that may be a protective factor for seniors' mental health?
I think being engaged in some form of volunteer work at Tzu Ji will actually help seniors to protect themselves from having all these mental health issues, because stepping out, being actively engaged, or building like meaning and purpose in life really helps them a lot.
I think that is a very, very nice point to highlight to seniors about just being engaged to protect your mental health and mental wellness. And this is also a good point for us to open up the floor for Q&A. We have collated the questions that has been put together by one of our Green Ribbon Task Force member, Fred. He's going to collate the questions and then he's going to flash the questions on the screen. So I will read it out. So some of these questions were from the audience. Some of these questions were being provided by our collated beforehand. So anytime you are able to share screen to share with us that particular, the first question, and then I'll read out the questions for you. Okay. So this first question, are all seniors suitable to join Tzu Ji, SEN, and take part in happy exercise? So I believe it meant, are seniors suitable to join Tzu Ji, SEN activities and take part in happy exercise? The next point is, what about seniors that may have dementia? So maybe I'll pose this question to Po Ai first. Po Ai, would you like to share?
So I would say all seniors are suitable to join us in our activities and programs, and we welcome seniors regardless of their race or religion. Yeah, as long as they are interested and they take the step out to join us and be engaged in activities. So for happy exercise itself, yeah, any seniors who wants to join can join us. There's no requirements.
And the happy exercise delivered in English.
Okay, because it will depend on which seniors come to participate. So if we notice that there are Malay, elderly, or maybe more English speaking one, we will just change and translate in Mandarin, English, as well as Malay, because we have colleagues who can speak Malay. Yep.
I see. And to the next point, which is, what about seniors who may be at risk of having dementia? Will they still be suitable to come and engage in the activities here at Tzu Ji SEN?
Yeah, they are definitely suitable to join, because just now I think we did mention of how happy exercise helps to improve their cognitive functioning and improve their memory. So it may help them to delay the worsening of the onset of symptoms. Yeah.
So just being engaged in activities, there is a possibility of it having to delay the negative symptoms of dementia from surfacing. Wondering, do you have colleagues here who may be able to manage situations if it involves a senior with dementia?
Yeah. So most of the staff have actually went through the simple like a training, a course on managing seniors with dementia. Yep. So they got to understand more about the behaviors and some of the knowledge about dementia.
Yep. So this definitely gives confidence to caregivers of seniors with dementia that the staffs here are trained to know how to support if there are seniors who have dementia coming over. So I think this is good news for our Bukit Batok residents. Great. So maybe I'll move to the next question. Next question, Fred. So if I suspect that my parent or grandparent has mental health issues, how should I go about broaching the topic with them? I think this would be a good question for me to pose to Dr. Chua, since it has been asked by the audience. How do you broach this rather tricky topic?
The simplistic answer would be to ask them directly. So I think a lot of the elderly, they do appreciate more direct conversation, because that gives them the opportunity, to share openly about some things that they have been feeling within themselves. So having those conversations are helpful. Of course, those conversations usually would mean that there is some form of a connection or relationship to start off with. So building that relationship, building that connection would certainly open the doors for the conversations, and then broaching the topic might be useful. If you find that it's better to have somebody who's trained at the same time, either a caseworker or volunteer or trained staff at Tzu Chi perhaps, or at maybe a family service center or counselor to sit in, that's also possible. So do reach out. I think we do have access to some of the community resources in Bukit Batok. So do reach out to some resource that is close to your home. We do have in the community, some are able to do home visits as well. So help is available. Connect, have those conversations. I think that's the way to go.
In a few keywords of nuggets of information that I think I want to highlight: connecting, conversations. This Green Ribbon Task Force that was initiated by Advisor Murali in 2017. It is really to help residents in Bukit Batok who may have mental health conditions. And the first step to do is to initiate conversations. Initiate conversations about mental health in Bukit Batok. Yes, this is a topic that is not comfortable to talk about, but I think it's a topic that getting more and more prominent during this COVID period, where if you can read in the news, there's been many, not just seniors, individuals who may be suffering from mental health condition because of the isolation. The first way is really conversations, having conversations and the connections. Don't just go and have a conversation and talk about mental health. Before that, you need to have a connection, build a relationship with the individual. When it's a family, there's already a relationship being built. How about at Tzu Chi? How does Tzu Chi build relationships with your seniors if you suspect that some of them may have mental health condition, to even broach the topic?
So we engage them regularly. Like for example, if they are here, we try to have conversations with them, check in with them, how they are coping, how they are how is their life going on. And then through the connections that we build, then we are able to, ask them like what are the issues that they are facing. So they will be more open to share with us. Yeah. And then we'll direct them to the correct resources available in the community.
Yeah, correct resources. We are currently working with 10 different community partners, and the different community partners may be more appropriate to be providing support for various aspects of it. And if Tzu Chi feels that they may not be the right party to be providing the support, they will refer to the appropriate organizations within the community to support. After all, Bukit Batok, we are a community. We hope that we can learn together to be more understanding and supportive of fellow residents who may have mental health condition, and creating conversations, creating connections. These are two very important points that has been highlighted. Thank you. And maybe we can have Fred to pose for us to the next question, Fred. So the next question is that whenever I ask my grandparents to exercise, they will always tell me that they don't want to, and they are unable to articulate why. Can Po-I share how does Tzu Chi staff encourage seniors to do activities they are not used to? So definitely this question is posed to Po-I. So the question is really about for seniors who don't want to exercise and they can't explain why, how do you encourage? Po-I?
First, I would think that we can ask them to just, perhaps if they can, they join us and sit there and watch what others do, to get them to have that sense of familiarity, to build their comfort level. Yeah.
So as first step may not be involved, but to just sit there and watch first. This is so real. For example, my father has gone for the Happy program several years ago, and that my mother, she does not like to be involved. So she just sat one side. She wasn't doing exercise. She just sat and observed. I would have preferred her to be involved, but at least she's sitting to observe that there could be various reasons why seniors do not want to be involved. So maybe for my mom, it could be due to pride, a bit shy. Dr. Chua, from your experience, what other kind of reasons do seniors feel uncomfortable to be involved in this kind, besides the example I shared about my mother?
Of course, there could be a variety of reasons. Some of them may be in pain. Some of them may have got difficulties, moving their joints, moving, sitting up, and participating. And some of them may also be a bit conscious of their disabilities. But yeah, certainly being by the side, creating a kind of environment that would encourage them, to participate would be the key. Sometimes doing it together, doing it with them, or sometimes even helping, them to be able to do certain activities would be helpful. Also matching the kind of activity, right, that you want them to do. So one may not be able to run a marathon, but to raise a hand or to do some stretching would be easier. And if they can attain it, it gives them the confidence and all that as well.
Very important point, because there are our seniors have different levels of ability. So for seniors who feel that I cannot do as well as the other seniors, that's what is holding them back. What can Tzu Chi do?
So we'll definitely encourage them, saying that, it's okay, you need not be the same as others. You do what you can do, and that is good enough. That is good enough for yourself, not good for us to know that, you can do or you cannot do.
That if they reply to you, say that, I don't want, it's so embarrassing. Other people can stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, and I cannot. I don't want to be in a wheelchair to do it. How would you respond to this comment?
Everyone is different. We should not compare ourselves with others. Yeah. So we are able in what we can. Everyone has different abilities. So perhaps if they are even sitting down on a wheelchair, but they can move their legs, they are also good. Yeah.
知足常乐, and that don't compare. It's not a competition. It's about doing things for yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel that this may be also related to some of the principles at Tzu of, I think, caring for ourselves is also doing something good for the society also.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I think that question that is being posed is such an important question. I can imagine so many seniors, due to various reasons, whether is it a physical ailment, whether is it an attitude, whether is it embarrassment, they do not want to take that first step. I hope this particular session that we have and the recording is being shared with other seniors in Bukit Batok, allow them to take the first step, to just step into Tzu and inquire about the different programs.
Yes.
Thank you. Fred, do we have any more questions? Yes, certainly we have. Let's see. Some youths may not be able to communicate much with seniors, like their grandparents, due to reasons such as generation gaps. The most we say is, have you eaten? Which is Chapabo. I think that is also the name of a dialect program that is being shown on weekdays, targeting specifically to seniors. Because this term is so important, Chapabo. It is a way we greet each other. So what are some common topics which we can use to kickstart a conversation? So the question is really about generation gap. How can the youth think about ways to engage seniors? Maybe for this, can I actually ask Dr. Chua from your experience? Then after that, I can pose it over to Po I also.
Well, it's an interesting question, and it's also a very common question, I find. And maybe I speak also from personal experience as well as the experience that I hear from many of the seniors that I see. I think time is an important aspect. So just spending that time together in the same room. Communication doesn't only happen through language. It happens through many other ways, like just being there, just showing that you care, having eye contact, smiling at one another. That's helpful. The other thing I find that's a useful tip is it's okay to communicate in your own language and try to understand from the other language. So like my grandmother, for example, may not be able to speak English, but she can understand some of the English that we speak. In the same way, we can understand some of the Teochew that she speaks, but we may not be able to express it back in Teochew. So she can speak Teochew, I'll speak back in English, and that's fine. For conversation starters, I think photos are a good way to go. Photos, old objects, the things that they used to do in the past. Those are interesting topics to connect. And our seniors love to talk about it. They just want people to listen to what they have to share.
I think Dr. Linus actually pointed out a very good point, just being there for them. So I feel that they need not strike a conversation immediately, because conversation starts with building connections first, building the rapport. So being always there with the grandparents, or just by maybe eating with them, or maybe accompanying them, preparing for dinner or lunch. Yeah, it actually helps them to have that connection first. Yeah, and definitely when sometimes it's not about asking them about how they feel. Maybe we can also share with them like, oh, today this happened to me, I'm happy. So like you can share your happiness with them. And I think they just sometimes just want to hear from you, but they may not be, they may be scared to approach you to ask questions like, oh, grandchild, how are you today? But maybe you can start by sharing with them first. Yeah.
Yeah, I really feel that the take-home message for me, at least today, I see the 3 C's in a certain way. To have communication. Before that, we must build connection so that we can be a community together in Bukit Batok. And it does not have to be just being present, it is really very beneficial for the seniors. It's not easy to create and initiate conversation, but just being willing to be present as a youth will be a good first step for our seniors around. Thank you. Yes, so I believe that maybe today seems to have quite a few good questions that's been posed by the audience. So does the organization accept short-term volunteers? What are some activities which the volunteer may require which the team may require volunteers for? I believe team, it means the Tzu Chi team. So maybe you can share with us. Does Tzu Chi accept short-term volunteers?
Yes, we do accept short-term volunteers. Just depends on whichever time you are comfortable in helping out. You need not to be here as a long-term commitment first. You can just try out different activities based on your own schedule. Yep. And because some of the activities we have here are also perhaps like just a short-term collaboration. It's not like every day. It's just maybe once a week. For example, we will be having an upcoming collaboration with Bukit Batok Hospital on this Share a Pot program. So like, for example, you have the skills of like cooking, like just what I mentioned earlier. You can come by to cook with us. Not only you cook for the other seniors, but you can also learn some healthy recipes. Yeah. Or maybe for happy exercise itself, you can come by to become a trainer, not only participating as a participant in the exercise, because we do have one Tzu Chi volunteer at Nanyang. She has become one of our trainers as well. She has gone through the training with NUH and AIC.
Yeah. So taking the first step to be involved with the activities here at Tzu Chi. And if you want to take the next step to be a volunteer, you can always be a short-term volunteer that is for project basis. So there are opportunities definitely at Tzu Chi to engage you, and you can take baby steps, small steps. There's no worry about being involved, as the staff here at Tzu Chi will be very understanding. We all have different situations and circumstances. So take the first step into Tzu Chi first, so you can learn together with everyone here. I think this is a really nice, good message to end for us today. Thank you very much, Puai. So I think for us, really, as we come to an end for today's session, we want to show our gratitude to our guest panelists today. So I'm representing Bremen Task Force. Dr. Chua will be actually gifting them some gifts that we got from our friends at Forward. Forward is a social enterprise that employs persons with special needs, including those recovering from mental health condition. So Dr. Chua, this is a little gift from Puai.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I hope you will enjoy this. They're including some coffee, some cookies that has been baked by a person with autism from Forward. And in fact, we have also gifted this Irene a care pack too. And this time around, the care pack we give to her, I think is very appropriate because she will be quarantined at home for the next few days. And inside there, Forward also have things like dried vegetable. They have healthy tea, as well as coffee for Irene. And I hope it will be something that nourishes her, something that also strengthens her belief in having vegetarian food, because everything is all vegetarian in it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having us here. So maybe for us to have some last comments for today's session, I will start with Dr. Chua. What is one take-home message that you have for the attendees who join us virtually?
So to the residents of Bukit Batok and all who have attended virtually, thank you for joining us. Stay active physically and mentally, and connect with each other, and we can get through these challenging times together. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Another C now, connect with each other. That's also very, very key.
Absolutely.
For us. We really need to connect with one another. So for Puai, a last word from you too.
Okay, to all the seniors in Bukit Batok, just feel free to come and join us for our activities and programs. I'm sure there will be one that suits you and help you to stay healthy and active in your aging years.
Thank you. So this event would not have been possible without the support of two individuals. Firstly, I'd like to thank Dr. Edwin Lin, Head of Medical Services Department of Tzu Chi Foundation Singapore, as well as our very own advisor to the Bukit Batok constituency, Mr. Murali Pillay. So if you find this session useful for you, please share the recording of it with your fellow neighbors in Bukit Batok. And you'll be able to find both the video recording as well as the audio recording on the Bukit Batok and Advisors Facebook page from this coming Thursday onwards. I'd like to end the webinar session with something that Advisor Murali said. As always, be kind and understanding to your neighbors so we can all build mental resilience. Let's support one another the Bukit Batok way. Thank you and have a good afternoon ahead. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye-bye.